had the pleasure of joining Tina and I think it was Guillaume.
Yes.
Is that
Guillaume.
right? Yes.
Yes.
One of the instructors last summer for an introductory course, which was incredible. I am super excited to get back into it this year, and in particular, I'm so excited to do the coffee run.
Oh,
do you want to
yes.
tell everyone a little bit about what that is?
Well, speak about my coffee. I got my coffee in hand here. And a bit of a shout out to Galileo that
Yes.
Norm's been running that coffee run program for a while before I came along.
Amazing, and they're finally back in town.
They're finally back in town.
In town, yeah.
Yes.
That's awesome.
So that coffee run is what we do is we start here in the harbor and we head across. It's a 3 to 5 kilometer crossing over to Watts Point.
Okay.
And then we'll wrap around and be along these beautiful walls all the way into Britannia Beach.
Okay.
And from that, we will still get coffee.
Okay, hallelujah. After all of that, I think you deserve a coffee.
Absolutely.
And then do you do the trip back, or do you all sort of shuttle back?
Yeah, we generally set up a shuttle, and the shuttle is mainly because of the inflow-outflow winds. And ideally, with that coffee run, we want the river taking us, we want the tide taking us, and we want the wind taking us. So ideally, we're looking for that trifecta. And if that all aligns, it makes for a really beautiful paddle, easy for beginner people to put the 9 kilometers in.
Yeah, and not fighting against the water, against the tide.
Yes.
Do that for like a second and I'm already sweating, so absolutely that makes the most sense.
To answer your question, generally we won't ask you to paddle all the way home.
That's perfect.
But something we do build up over time.
How have you guys found the sort of monitoring around COVID-19 restrictions, and how are you guys dealing with that?
Increased our business in the sense that more people are going to the water, I think for mental health as well. So the intro classes are super key to us, to getting people on the water safely. I just did an intro class yesterday with 9 people, and we can keep our distance with no problems at all.
Yeah, and we're already outside, so I mean, as far as the restrictions go, it's been able to continue the whole way through.
That's right. We're on 12-foot boards.
Yeah.
So
we've got ample distance.
Yeah, and as Norm and I discussed this morning, this is why it's so important with this cold water to be able to self-rescue yourself, right?
Exactly.
That self-rescue is really the closest I would get to someone on the board, right?
Yeah. Okay, so how did you first come to live in Squamish, and what sort of brought you and your family here?
Again, my husband.
Yeah.
I met him on the mountains in Whistler. We were both in the city, and we were constantly driving up here, whether it was for the ocean or for the mountains. So that's really what brought me here. And then we had 2 kids, and we're still here.
Amazing. And how do you find raising a family in Squamish?
Well, I absolutely love it. I'm born and raised in Saskatchewan, so water is something I've always been close to.
Absolutely.
The outdoors, recreational has been the top of my priority list.
And advice for anyone that's thinking about getting into stand-up paddleboarding? I guess intro to paddleboarding.
We're back to intro to Stoke.
Amazing. Okay.
And again, I had a gentleman yesterday that had a fair bit of skill in the surf and in the water, and he was just really happy to bring it back to the basics.
Okay, so out on the water, what has been the most incredible experience thus far?
The last 3 years on Howe Sound has been phenomenal. But the seals, the sea lions, the whales,
amazing,
the birds, just there's so much to see out there. We saw a whole family of river otters yesterday. Yeah, so I've gone from probably being really fit with supping, which I still am, but now it's more about the exploration. Probably my highlighted experience was going to the Great Bear Rainforest with Norm. So to see the bears and to see the wolves and to see all that sea life in its natural state.
Yeah.
I would have to put that on the top of my list.
Absolutely.
For sure. And then we also spend time in Quadra. And we've had some amazing encounters. I had killer whales come right up the Search Narrows as I'm going down it, which just blew my mind. And then we also head to the Sunshine Coast and do some SUP camping.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we'll be heading out to the archipelago into the Broughtons as well this year. So we do go beyond these waterways.
Yeah.
And use that paddleboard as a tool to explore.
It's incredible.
And speaking of actually Guillaume, is headed out on the Howe Sound Trail, BC Marine Trail, just this week. He's going to spend an entire week and go to each campsite and paddleboard along. And I just spoke with him this morning to go over his flow plan. And I'm super excited to hear about that when he comes back.
That's awesome. And what a week to do it. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
We've got a full week of sunshine here in Squamish, which is few and far between sometimes. So yeah, really great time to be on the water. You can go online at www.normhann.com. I'll put the link down below so you know exactly where to go. And you can do the intro to Stoke session, and I highly recommend it. From there are a number of different expeditions that you can embark on. There's also a 5-time pass system, which basically takes you beyond the Mamquam Blind Channel here, which is our learning zone.
Exactly.
And takes you into the Howe Sound and beyond. So really opens up your exploration and opportunities to play around in the water.
Yeah, and keep working on our skill.
Exactly.
And we're meeting other people, like-minded people in the community that want to get on the boards, be safe, but continue to work on your skills.
Well, thank you so much, Tina, for your time today.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm sure my guys are super happy to be hearing all about your adventures. And yeah, please get in touch with Tina and the Norm Hann crew and get out on that water.
Yeah. See you out there.